Hi boys and girls, we are here announcing the Grand Avenue Book Madness 2020, and we're going to give you a little background information on each book so you have an idea of what book to vote for. Okay. The first competition is between Wonder and Wings of Fire, so we're just going to give you some background on the two. We'll start with Wonder.
So Wonder says Augie Pullman was born with a facial deformity that prevented him from going to a mainstream school until now. He's about to enter 5th grade at Beecher Prep, and if you've ever been the new kid, then you know how hard that can be. The thing is, Augie's just an ordinary kid with an extraordinary face, but can he convince his new classmate that he's just like them, despite appearances?
And here we have the first book in the series Wings of Fire, and it says, "The Dragonettes are coming to save the day." Clay has lived his whole life under the mountain. The Mudwing Dragonette knows that war is raging between the dragon tribes and the world outside. A war that he and 4 other dragonettes are destined to end, according to the mysterious prophecy they've been taught. The 5 chosen dragonettes were stolen from their homes while they were still in their eggs and hidden away for years, all to fulfill the prophecy. But not every dragonette wants a destiny, and when danger threatens one of their own, Clay and his friends may choose freedom over fate, leave the mountain, and set the dragon world on a course that no one could have predicted.
All right, the next one is Out of My Mind versus Ghost. So here you go. 11-year-old Melody has a photographic memory. Her head is like a video camera that is always recording. Always. And there's no delete button. She's the smartest kid in her whole school, but no one knows it. Most people, her teachers and doctors included, don't think she's capable of learning, and up until recently, her school days consisted of listening to the same preschool level alphabet lessons again and again and again. If only she could speak up, if only she could tell people what she thinks and knows, but she can't because Melody can't talk. She can't walk, she can't write. Being stuck inside her head is making Melody go out of her mind. That is until she discovers something that will allow her to speak for the first time ever. At last, Melody has a voice, but not everyone around her is ready to hear it.
And the second book is Ghost by Jason Reynolds. Running, that's all Ghost, real name Castle Crenshaw, has ever known. But never for a track team. Nope, his game has always been ball. But when Ghost impulsively challenges an elite sprinter to a race and wins, the Olympic medalist track coach sees he has something, crazy natural talent. The thing is, Ghost has something else, a lot of anger, and a past that he tries to outrun. Can Ghost harness his raw talent for speed and meld with his team, or will his past finally catch up to him?
The next 2 books that we have here are Hatchet versus Christie's Great Idea out of the Babysitters Club. Now, Hatchet's obviously the first book of the series by Gary Paulson here, and it says 13-year-old Brian Robeson is on his way to visit his father when the single-engine plane in which he's flying crashes. Suddenly, Brian finds himself alone in the Canadian wilderness with nothing but a tattered windbreaker and his hatchet that his mother gave him. Great book. Enjoy it.
And it is going up against the Babysitters Club graphic novel, Christie's Great Idea. This is the first one in the series. And it's Christy, Marianne, Claudia, and Stacy are best friends and founding members of the Babysitters Club. Whatever comes up, cranky toddlers, huge dogs, scary neighbors, prank calls, you can count on them to save the day. Babysitting isn't always easy, and neither is dealing with strict parents, new families, fashion emergencies, and mysterious secrets. But no matter what the BSC have, what they need most, friendship. Popular series.
Hey kids, we're ready for the next 2 books. It's between Candy Makers and Something Upstairs. For Candy Makers, at the Life is Sweet Candy Factory, Logan, Miles, Daisy, and Philip are about to compete in the national candy making competition of a lifetime. Who will make a candy more delicious than the oozing Crunchorama or the neon yellow Lightning Chew? The contestants face off in a battle of wits and sugar, but soon they realize that things are not what they seem, and they find themselves in a candy-filled world of surprises, suspense, and mouth-watering creations.
Something Upstairs by Avi. Little page just to give you an idea of what the story might be about. The mystery deepens The room was shabby and dirty, heavy with heat. None of the things which Kenny called his own remained. Even the painted walls and skylight were gone. Baffled, he wondered if other things, even outside, had changed. Kenny went to one of the windows and looked down. On a stoop across the dark street, a man was standing, gazing straight at Kenny's window. He was wearing what appeared to be a long black cape which reached his knees, and a hat triangular in shape. Its brim obscured his face. As if suddenly realizing he was being observed, the man moved quickly into the shadows. Keeping his face averted, he fled up the street. A great story to decide if you believe ghosts are real.
Okay, so the next two books up are Masterminds versus I Will Always Write Back. I'm going to start with Masterminds. This is written by Gordon Corman, and it's the first in the series. Eli Frieden lives in the most perfect town in the world, Serenity, New Mexico. In this idyllic place, every lawn is perfectly manicured and everyone has a pool and a treehouse. Honesty and integrity are valued above all else. The 30 kids who live there never lie. They know it's a short leap from that to the awful problems of other, less fortunate places. Eli has never left Serenity. Why would he ever want to? Then one day he bikes to the edge of the city limits and something so crazy and unexpected happens. It changes everything. Eli convinces his friends to help him investigate further, and soon it becomes clear that nothing is as it seems in Serenity. The clues mount to reveal a shocking discovery, connecting their ideal crime-free community to some of the greatest criminal masterminds ever known. The kids realize they can trust no one, least of all, their parents.
Next up is I Will Always Write Back, the true story of an all-American girl and a boy from Zimbabwe, and the letter that changed both of their lives forever. It started as an assignment. Everyone in Caitlin's class wrote to an unknown student in a distant place. Martin was lucky to even receive a pen pal letter. There were only 10 letters and 50 kids in his class, but he was the top student, so he got the first one. That letter was the beginning of a correspondence that spanned 6 years and changed 2 lives. In this compelling memoir, with an updated epilogue for this edition, Caitlin and Martin recount how they can become best friends and better people through their long-distance exchange.
Guys, we're down to the next one. It's Edward Tulane and Because of Mr. Terrupt. So here's Edward Tulane. Once in a house on Egypt Street, there lived a China rabbit named Edward Tulane. The rabbit was very pleased with himself, and for good reason. He was owned by a girl named Abilene, who treated him with the utmost care and adored him completely. And then one day, he was lost. And Kate DiCamillo takes us on an extraordinary journey from the depths of the ocean to the net of a fisherman, from the top of a garbage heap to the fireside of the hobo's camp, from the bedside of an ailing child to the streets of Memphis. And along the way, we are shown a true miracle, that even a heart of the most breakable kind can learn to love, to lose, and to love again. Sweet story.
Well, Because of Mr. Terrupt is our next book. 7 kids, 1 amazing teacher. And the school year that changes their lives. It's the start of 5th grade at Snow Hills School, and 7 students find themselves thrown together in Mr. Terrupt's class. Peter, the class clown, Jessica, the new girl, Luke, the brain, Alexia, the queen bee, Jeffrey, the slacker, Danielle, the pushover, and Anna, the shy one. They don't have much in common, and they've never gotten along, not until a certain new teacher arrives and helps them find their strength in themselves and in each other. But when Mr. Terrupt suffers a terrible accident, will his students be able to remember the lessons he taught them? Or will their lives go back to the way they were before 5th grade, and before Mr. Terrupt?
All right, guys, next we have Winner Winner Turkey Dinner versus Amulet. This book here is written by Kevin Lovegreen, and it says, join Luke and his dad in Winner Winner Turkey Dinner as he experiences all the wonders of a big turkey hunt. At last, old enough to join Dad on a wild turkey hunt, Luke is bursting with excitement from the start when he finally sees his first turkey roaming wild in the woods. He has to overcome his excitement and make sure he can take a good shot. What an adventure, what a day.
And that's going up against Amulet number 1. the graphic novel series that is very popular in 5th grade. And here's what number 1 is about in case you haven't read it. There's something strange behind the basement door. After a family tragedy, Emily, Naveen, and their mother moved to an ancestral home to start a new life. On the family's very first night in the mysterious house, Emma and Naveen's mom is kidnapped by a tentacled creature. Now it's up to Emma and Naveen to figure out how to set things right and save their mother's life.
Our last 2 books are Booked and What's His Face. Booked. Like lightning you strike fast and free, legs zoom downfield, eyes fixed on the checkered ball, on the goal. 10 yards to go. Can't nobody stop you, can't nobody cop you. Nobody can stop Nick Hall. He's a star on a soccer team, cruising in school and getting ready to ask out the girl of his dreams. But then a bombshell announcement shatters his world. Follow Nick's next moves in this electric and heartfelt novel in verse by Kwame Alexander that bends and breaks as it captures all the thrills and setbacks, action and emotion of a World Cup match. Booked.
Our last entry in the series is What's His Face? Cooper Vega doesn't have a ghost of a chance of being popular, or does he? Cooper Vega's family moves so often he's practically invisible at any school he attends. Now they've relocated to the town of Stratford, where nobody even makes an effort to learn his name. To them, he's just What's His Face?